Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, July 2nd, 2020. Steve Sipress here. I apologize, I just had you miss, just catching the tail end of what was a spectacular, beautiful sunset here in usually way too sunny Phoenix, Scottsdale area of Arizona. But today, a whole bunch of clouds in the sky, meaning the flip side of that, the positive side of a cloudy day is a beautiful sunset. However, I got out here just a bit too late to show you the spectacular part of it, but we still have enough light for today's video. And let's see if I can get out here a little bit earlier tomorrow if we're going to have another great sunset. And you see behind me, the pool has some waves in it because my beautiful wife Michelle just got out of taking a dip in the pool, as I believe the high temperature today was forecast at least to be around 109 degrees. Hopefully, and almost undoubtedly, it's a lot cooler, at least a little cooler, wherever you are. Anyway, let's get right to it. You might have seen in the news yesterday a company that you likely never heard of called NPC International declared bankruptcy amid the whole chaos of the great shutdown and the ongoing pandemic and the panic and the fear and all that kind of stuff. Likely you haven't heard from them, other than this news story, because I never had. But it's likely you've heard of some of the strategic alliances, the joint ventures, the companies that they are in business with, because they happen to be the largest franchisee of Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, with about 6,500 locations, and NPC International has 1,200 of them. They also have about 400 Wendy's. So they are a huge franchisee with about 40,000 employees, and yet they declared bankruptcy. That clearly made the news. Now, why is it here on a Throwback Thursday? Why is it even remarkable at all with all kinds of companies, and we haven't even started yet? The chaos really has not yet begun. There'll be a whole lot more foreclosures, evictions, bankruptcies, more misery, unemployment, more suicides, more divorces, more abuse, and there'll even be, not anywhere near that number of misery, but there'll either be some more deaths of people with comorbidities that are, in other words, otherwise unhealthy, being finished off by this virus, which, of course, is the least of the damage being done by the actual virus itself. But anyway, so here you have 40,000 workers. The good news is they're not out of work, and none of those locations are closed. In fact, what caught my eye about this story was that they said sales were up. However, sales isn't everything. So as a marketing, advertising, and sales consultant, that I put systems into place which, at my last count, have been used in over 165 different industries to pretty much bring in sales on autopilot. And I've used them in many of my own businesses through the years, of course, as well. And I get called so many times, business owners engage me because they want help. They say, I need more sales. I need more new customers. I need more new business. And almost never is that actually the case. So, and I learned my lesson long ago. Before I just say, wow, that's great, that's my specialty, and that's incredibly easy for me to do, even though it's nearly impossible for most business owners. It's incredibly second nature and easy for me to do with all the systems I have. So I whip a few things into place, and then the sales come streaming in, and then that actually has led to the demise of companies. And so I was like, what just happened? Well, I overburdened with too many sales, and as it ends up, when I delved into the reason why too much sales, too many sales, and too much cash coming in hurt them, usually it's because they were underlying problems. And so now I've learned that first we got to fix the underlying problems, or else when I put my systems into play and bring you a whole boatload of money real quick, you are going to likely go under. You got to fix some other things, and that's exactly what is happening with NPC International, why they declare bankruptcy. Certainly it's not because sales are up, because sales are up for them. And the Throwback Thursday references to my first multi-million-dollar business, where I was doubling in size every single year. I was the largest company in my industry, and then a situation occurred, And I didn't technically declare bankruptcy. I just shut the whole thing down. It started hemorrhaging money, and first I had to lay off one person, then another, and finally I had to admit that I was not willing to fight for it, and I just kind of gave it up, and the whole company just collapsed. Multi-million dollars worth of value in the company, and all kinds of sales and happy recurring customers coming back season after season, year after year. The whole thing just flushed away, even though sales were up. Because while sales is important and cash is king and cash is equivalent to blood for a human being, you need cash flow to keep a business alive. However, just like blood to a human being, just because blood is flowing doesn't mean you're going to stay living, and it's the same with the business. Just because sales are happening and sales are up, as in this case with NPC International, they still had to declare bankruptcy. And it's because there were other underlying problems. In their case, massive debt. I think they missed an $800 million payment on a loan, and that caused all kinds of problems and other problems they were having, which bankruptcy can help solve. They'll keep operating, and they'll be able to start off with a new slate, and their creditors just kind of get wiped away, or will have to take deals, and but they won't have to lay off their 40,000 workers or close their 1,600 restaurants, and likely not any of them. So, moral of the story is, sales is not everything. And I can tell you, as I just did from my personal example, even though sales are up, it doesn't mean that's the be-all, end-all of a business. I discussed this on a mastermind that I actually facilitate this morning with some really sharp business owners. And that it came up, this story, even though I showed it, here's it in my notes to be today's video. And this morning, one of my mastermind members brought it up. Said, hey, speaking of cash flow, did you hear about this? Sales, cash flow isn't everything. And so we discussed it a little bit, and here I'm putting it out to you. That sure, you want cash flow, but that's not the key to long-term success. It's certainly not the key to wealth. It's like blood flowing through a business. It's necessary. It's like air flowing through your lungs. You're breathing, you're alive, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy. There's a lot of other elements. So please don't make the mistake I made way back 30-something years ago with that multi-million-dollar business. Don't make the same mistake with yours. Don't think just because sales are up, everything's fine. In fact, you'll know, and you always know, when things are not fine, and don't think that more sales is the solution. It is almost never the solution. If you're in trouble because of other problems, sales is not only going to not solve the problems, it's likely to bring them out and make them more pronounced and make them worse. Might sound counterintuitive, might be hard to believe. If you want some help with that, you know where to find me. And more importantly, if you want help getting through this chaos, because it's really not ending anytime soon, no matter what any politician says, that it's a V shape and a big recovery and all that, like, no, chaos is going on forever. But I have a free report that I will send you for free. Just tell me where to send it. Go to profitfromchaos.com. My free report is titled, simply enough, How to Profit from Chaos. Not how to profit off of the chaos, how to profit despite the chaos. Ethically, morally, honestly, how to profit despite all this chaos going on. And you also get an invitation to my private Facebook group, where every single day I share new strategies and examples of other business owners that are profiting even during this chaos. So if you're thinking that can't be you, before you just give up, go to profitfromchaos.com and check back here every day for another video, including tomorrow. On Foundation Friday, we will have part 2 in my multi-part series on the great book by Dr. Dennis Waitley, The Psychology of Winning. So I will help you do so much winning, you're going to get tired of winning. We'll have part 2 of that series tomorrow on Foundation Friday. That'll do it as the sun is setting in the west here on Throwback Thursday. Thanks for being here today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye-bye.